Kyodo News English World。
はい、皆さんこんにちは。こちらは共同通信英文記者のポッドキャストです。英文記者は国内外で起きている出来事について取材してオリジナルの英文記事を発信したり、日本語のニュースを英語に翻訳したりしています。共同通信の英語の記事をテーマに、いろんな国から集まる仲間たちと英語と日本語を交えて楽しくおしゃべりしていけたらと思っています。今日は3人の記者でお届けします。私は山口祐希と申します。最近まで日本語の部署にいて、英文記者の部署の海外部に移動してきました。よろしくお願いいたします。
Hello everyone, my name is Toma. I've been at Kyodo News for 5 to 6 years now. I am known as a massive bookworm, and I'm currently reading a non-fiction book called Numbers Don't Lie by Vaclav Smil. よろしくお願いします。
Hi there, my name is Peter Mashita. I'm a staff writer at Kyodo News. I've been working at Kyodo News for about 2 years now. Thank you.
はい、ありがとうございます。今日のお題となる記事なんですけれども、トマさんどういうタイトルの記事でしょうか。
Retro Japanese video games enjoy intergenerational revival.
はい、レトロゲームが世代を超えて人気になっているという記事ですね。それでは本文の方をちょっと読み上げていただいてもよろしいですか。
Japanese video games released decades ago are making a comeback, gaining popularity among players of all ages in Japan and visitors from overseas, with retailers launching consoles compatible with old cartridges. Second-hand goods trading retailers, Book-Off Group Holdings and Geo Holdings, have separately developed consoles capable of playing old games for Nintendo's iconic Nintendo Entertainment System, released in 1983 as Famicom in Japan, while the game reselling market is flourishing both in stores and online.
はい、ありがとうございます。なんとそのレトロゲームですね。私も子供の頃にすごくハマった記憶があるんですけれども、ファミコンとかのそのレトロゲームが、世代を超えて人気を集めていると。で、ゲオとかブックオフなどでもそういったゲームをプレイできるような、コンソールを、発売しているということですね。なんかすごくでも意外な感じがしますよね。今ですと、すごく、映像とかも、綺麗だったり、すごい、エフェクトとかも入ったりしてるようなゲームっていうのが、いっぱいあると思うんですけども、レトロゲームっていうところも人気なんですね。
I think there definitely is a nostalgia factor to a lot of things recently, be it music or fashion. So, in that sense, I'm not too surprised that people are also going back to retro games, kind of, it was better that...like back then kind of feeling.
なるほどですね。ピーターさん、結構そのゲームをかなりされたことがあるというふうに聞いたんですけども。
Oh, right. I couldn't possibly comment, but I'm sure it will become clear later.
なるほど。ファミコンとかって、イギリスにいらっしゃった時も結構やってたりしましたか
？I'm a bit young for the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES, as it is sometimes referred to. But in the United Kingdom, the NES and the Super Nintendo Entertainment System competed primarily with Sega and the Mega Drive console, and latterly the Saturn console. But yeah, retro games are quite popular in the UK, and I also played a lot of games when they weren't retro. Do you remember the Dreamcast?
ドリームキャストですね。はい。
Yeah, the failed Sega console. That's the one I would say I have the greatest affinity for.
Yeah. なるほどですね。
But on Thomas' point about nostalgia and retro games, I'm not surprised that retro games are more popular at the moment because the buy-in, the cost of sort of current video games is actually quite high to own, for example, the latest PlayStation 5 console or one of the Xbox consoles. And the games are also expensive. And there's often, you have to continue paying money for them once you've already bought them. There's the games as a service concept where you have subscriptions or you pay for in-game items. And so I can see why there would be a trend toward the simplicity of retro games, which are short. And once you've bought them, you own them. And that's it.
なるほどですね。いや、でも確かにそうなんですよね。私もその小学生の子供がいるんですけれども、なんか今、スイッチとかで、昔のマリオとかのゲームができたりするんですよね。なんかそういうのやってたりして、これなんかお父さんもやったことあるよとかって普通に話したりして、例えばそのマリオですね、そのジャンプして、パンチしてブロックを壊してっていうような、マリオ とか、あとなんか星のカービィとか、あと、まあもちろんそのマリオカートとかも人気ですし、なんかそういうのを見るとやっぱりちょっとなんか世代を超えて同じものに惹かれてて、なんかちょっとすごい、少し嬉しいなっていうような感覚はありますね。
Yes, I often think Pokemon is still popular today in 2024, and it became a thing in 1997. And from the perspective of 1997, that would mean something from the 70s still being popular in the 90s.
ああ、そう考えるとすごいですね。
Yeah. So there's a huge tail on these things these days.
タイトル的にはピーターさんどういうのをプレイしてたんですか？
When I was an early teen, I was obsessed with a game called Shenmue, which is it was the most expensive game ever made at the time, and it led to Sega leaving the console market. It was an incredibly ambitious title, where you are, it's like a martial arts RPG based on the arcade game Virtua Fighter. Have you heard of that? And it was meant to be this long story, but it never got finished because it was too expensive. But it's all set in Yokosuka in Japan, and it's like a very, very painstaking recreation of Yokosuka. So I enjoyed that very slow game.
なんかでも、プレイしたことないですけど、聞いたことあります。シェンムーで、日本語も多分シェンムーっていうタイトルだったと思いますけども。
Yeah, well, it's a famous business misstep. But then talking about that, it's interesting when we think about retro games and their popularity, that this is a time when the video game industry is also in trouble here in Japan and abroad, and companies were speaking at a time when Sony has recently said that it's going to cut around 900 jobs. So the very top end of the games industry is currently not stable.Let's say.
なるほどですね。まあ、トップレベルっていうよりも、ちょっと、流れ的にはこういうレトロな方に少し移ってきてるのかもしれないですね。トマさんはゲームとか結構やったりします？
Not really. I guess recently it would be Animal Crossing, but prior to that, I was really only playing things like Tetris. So I had a Game Boy Pocket, but after that, I think probably I don't think I bought anything until the Switch. So
なるほどです。
No, I don't know, and I don't really know much about games.
アニマルクロッシングだと動物の森ですよね。
Yeah. I played a lot of that.
結構あんまりプレイしたことないですけど、どういう感じで進むんですか？動物の世話をする感じ？
No. You kind of build your own village with characters that are animals, essentially. Yeah. And you help them, like you give them gifts and kind of level up your friendship with the characters and things like that. And you can go shopping and cook things and renovate your house. And it's a very chill game. Yeah.
なるほどですね。
Very low stakes.
結構あれですね。やっぱりなんかほっこりするようなというかね、なんかそのプレイしててなんかちょっとリラックスできるような、あんまりなんかその気合い入れてやるっていうよりもそのなんかちょっと弾いてリラックスできるような感じのゲームがもしかしたら最近はちょっと人気を集めてるのかもしれないですね。
I mean, it was definitely popular during COVID-19 because a lot of people stayed indoors, and it came out right when people were encouraged to work from home and stay at home. So I think that it really helped a lot of people, I think, kind of lower stress.
確かにコロナ禍とかストレスが続く環境が続きましたからね。ピーターさんなんか私なんかちょっと気になったんですけども、そのフィジカルのファミコン本体はプレイしたことはあります
？Must have done, yes.
僕が子供の頃って、カートリッジがあって、カートリッジで、電源を入れて、起動しないと、取り外して、ふって、息を吹きかけて、埃を、払ってまたガシャってやって、スイッチオンってやってたんですけど、それってイギリスでもやるんですかね？
I think that's one form of an international language that video games has brought to the world.
I mean, I did that with my Game Boy Pocket as well, so...
The instruction manuals, I'm pretty sure, tell you not to do that.
Yeah.
あ、そうなんですか？いや、知らなかった、それ。
But everybody does.
But on that note of an international language, a lot of foreign visitors to Japan also go to stores like Book Off to try and find rare Japanese games, boxed Japanese games,
そうなんですね。
and buy and sell them on. That's like that has been a popular trend in the last few years with the rise in the number of people coming to this country.
なるほどですね。まあ確かに日本の外だともう売ってないかもしれないものがもしかしたら日本でね、見つかるかもしれないですし、なんか英語版でプレイしたものを日本語版でプレイしたいっていう人もいるかもしれないですね。
Yes, some people also use Japanese games to study, don't they? That's also a thing that people do. Or there are games that have never been translated, which are quite popular. And there may be fan translations of those in existence as well.
なるほどですね。でも確かにゲームもね、やっぱりプレイしたいですから必然的に覚えますよね。
Well, it's an example of Japan's soft power, I guess. It's games industry.
いや興味深いお話どうもありがとうございましたそろそろ時間になってしまったんですけれども、共同通信では、共同ニュースプラスというサイトで日本や世界で起きた出来事について英語のニュースを発信しています。今日ご紹介した記事も掲載されていますので、ぜひチェックしてみてください。それでは皆さん
See you next time!